Hi everybody, this is Robin Shockley with the Focus Forward with Robin show, and I am so excited. This is my very first show, and we are here in Douglasville, Georgia, which is right outside of Atlanta, Georgia. And what is so exciting about this show, it's not just focused here in Douglasville, this is global. So it's all over the place. So if you're in, first of all, if you're interested in being on the show, make sure you connect with me, Robin Shockley, or Focus Forward with Robin page, and I will love to connect with you and fill you in more information. But I want to tell you a little bit why we're here today, okay? So Focus Forward Robin, what is that about? Robin Shockley, who is she? She's just a small town girl with big heart dreams. And the thing is Focus Forward actually is about helping people understand that they can make their dreams a reality. It doesn't matter what you've been through. It doesn't matter the pits that you come out of. You have purpose. And so you can take each situation, whatever it is, and make something out of it. I always say you can think a thing, you believe a thing. If you believe a thing, you will achieve it. So today, I want to do a first shout out while we're here and actually the people that helped bring me to this place to where I'm at today. So I'm going to take just a moment to read a few little props and some shout outs, okay? So as I call these names, your name may be heard, okay? All right. First prop goes to Mr. DeVecchio Reiser, Andre Fullwood, Mata Crawford, Brendan Burchard, Trent Shelton, Catherine Jordan, Tanya Deal, Real Talk Kim Potiphar, Hope Carpenter, Ron Carpenter, Pastor John Gray, Hasker Hudgens and Deanna Hudgens, Nicole Spain White, Ted Sherrard, Diane Kirkpatrick, and Professor Gary Lee. Johnny and Lois Thompson, of course, because those are my parents, and I want to give props to them. But I have two sponsors who actually helped me get to this place as well with the Focus Forward Robin show and the Focus Forward Robin on the go, where I go and travel and go to different places. So hats off to Odom Motorsports in North Carolina, and also Smooth Getaway Limousine with Mr. Christopher Parks. Those two have sponsored me as I've been traveling over the last couple of weeks, and it actually helped me get to this place. So I'm very excited to be on the show. Our show will always air on the Regina Sunshine Global Network, okay, here in Douglasville, and that is at 4040 Chapel Hill Road in Douglasville, Georgia. And also Regina Sunshine Robinson, you can follow her. She is amazing. She's a wonderful person, and she's going to be a special guest on the show today as well. So you can connect with her. And so the Global Network is always looking for potentials to come on and start your own show. So if you're interested in doing that, make sure you get connected with myself or Miss Regina Sunshine, okay? All right, so let me just go a little bit and share some things with you about some upcoming events that I'm going to be participating in. I want to go ahead and get that out of the way. So September the 28th and the 29th, I will be in Houston, Texas. I'm flying out to Houston, Texas for a huge event, which is a Sports Karate Museum event with the Darlene McPherson Pagels Women's Symposium. I will be a speaker there, and I will be speaking on living your legacy, your dreams, and your visions with a great panel of other women, and we'll be speaking, but it's all about martial arts and all about building your self-esteem and being empowerment, and there's going to be men there, women there, kids there. It's going to be phenomenal. So you need to connect with Professor Gary Lee if you're interested in getting tickets for that, or contact with me. Another event that's going to be coming up is October the 6th, which is going to be in Spartanburg, South Carolina, down with domestic violence, okay? So, and Utrina is a fabulous friend of mine. She is a playwright, artist, and a motivational speaker, so I cannot wait to that event to come up October the 6th. And the last thing that I have so far on my calendar for this year is going to be a women's getaway retreat. It's going to be so awesome in Charleston, South Carolina, where the Restored Hope Ministries. It's Women by Design, so it's going to be putting this on, and I'll be speaking, and the keynote speaker is going to be none other than Kimberly Abercrombie, which is also known as Miss Clara from War Room. And it's going to be an amazing weekend getaway for girls. No men allowed. We're going to be at the beach. It's November the 30th through December the 2nd. And the subject that I'm going to be speaking on in my session is sow where you want to grow. And everybody already knows, if you follow me, you know I'm all about sowing into other people's lives. And that brings me to the reason why I have my special guest on the show today, who is very fabulous, a wonderful dear friend, Miss Regina Sunshine Robinson. Hey, girl.
It's so good to be here.
I am so glad that you're here. And the reason why I'm glad that you're here, because I wouldn't be here without you.
You're so funny.
This is your network. This lady is all about living your dream. She's all about moving forward, and she's all about focusing on what your dreams, your visions, your goals are, and implementing it into not just her life, but everybody's life. So, you know what? I want to take a few moments for you just to tell us a little bit about what all you do.
Wow.
And who you are. And it's going to take a few minutes because this lady, I'm telling you, a lot of people might not know her in South Carolina, but honey, this lady is global. She is going everywhere, and people are calling her left and right. So if you're not connected, you got to get connected. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Regina.
Well, first of all, Robin, thank you for having me on the show. And it's always been a pleasure to know you. From the moment I met you, I felt like I found a sister that was missing. So thank you. But I am Regina Sunshine Robinson. I am the host of the Regina Sunshine Show, which airs on the Regina Sunshine Global Network, which is a newly founded television network here in Douglasville, Georgia. I'm an author, a coach, a motivational speaker. But what I truly am is an encourager of people. I love people. I love to be a blessing to others. And I think, I know that's where you and our hearts have connected because we love people like we do. So everything that I do is centered around helping people to live their best lives, to make sure that I leave people better than I found them.
That's right.
So whatever that area of life is that they're trying to excel or grow in, it is my goal to make sure I'm an instrumental part in that.
Awesome,
So,
awesome. Yes, and you know what? You helped me. You had a brand years ago, how we got connected.
Get your sassy back.
Get your sassy back,
your
girl.
sassy back.
And I'm telling you, with all the things that I've done, that was like the pivotal point in my life. And actually, it was at a time where I needed to I thought I had my sassy, but obviously I didn't.
You were sassy when I met you. You were.
But I don't know what it was. We met at a networking event.
We did.
It was at Tracy Fance.
Tracy
I was doing my Mary Kay. I was building myself up with Mary Kay, and you were doing your
Get your sassy
back. And I remember we did you had everybody get together and connect with people, and we had to repeat after you these
partner confessions, partner affirmations.
Yes, and that right there is when I started learning about speaking life and the words that come out of our mouth and how they're so powerful. And so with that, there was just a spark in you that just connected and resonated within my spirit. I knew I had to stay connected to you. And we've done a couple of events together too, right?
I felt the same way about you when I met you, because it was like there were a room full of women. The whole purpose of that event was to teach business owners how to network, you know, and how to be effective in getting your vision or your brand across to other people. And we went around the room and introduced ourselves, and when you spoke, I was like, who is this? I mean, your spirit was just so big and beautiful that I felt the same way. I have to know her. I have to connect with her. And we connected, and it's just been
amazing. And we did I think it was the Girls Get for God workshop. You came.
I came and spoke at
that was phenomenal.
And you came and spoke at Purpose Driven Women for
me. In Greenwood. That's right. I remember that. So it's awesome how God has kept us together. And what is also amazing is because we live in totally different states now.
Yes.
You know, you're here in Georgia and I'm in South Carolina.
For now.
They're trying to get me down here. Well, we'll talk about that a little bit more. But with that being said, is that you don't have to be one-on-one in person for somebody to be connected to you. Is that correct?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about connection is this. I mean, if you have that connection with someone, it's like when you can have someone you may not have spoken to in months, and you pick up the phone and you pick right back up where you left off. And that's how you and I are. Every time we get together, it's like we pick up from where we were the last time.
Exactly. And you know, we build from that because we come stronger with one another, you know. And one of the, I'm all about music. Music is my love. And I love to listen to Mandisa. And one of the songs that she sings is becoming stronger, you know, and standing. And that's one of the things that you helped me even from a distance with your posts and, you know, your empowerment words that you speak and the affirmations that you speak forth on Facebook and on Instagram and stuff is so powerful. But there's something else that I want you to talk about right now. I want you to talk about this book that was actually your first book that you wrote.
Yes, yes.
This book right here was a big impact in my life last year when I was trying to understand a lot of things, trying to transition and actually to move into focusing forward. And this book was so powerful to me. I want you to tell us a little bit about this book.
Well, the book is called Regina Sunshine State of Mind, 7 Keys to Help You Get Your Mind Right. And it actually is my coaching on mindset. You know, one of the things I've done for years is coach people on how to have a positive mindset. And so when I started to write my first book, it just made sense that this book would be first. But it's step by step, how do you practically every day set yourself up to have positive thoughts? Some people think that either you're positive or you're negative. They think that there's nothing you can do to control that, but you can train your mind to be the positive mind that you want it to be. And so this book is that step-by-step, everyday, practical process for creating a positive mindset.
And it's a simple book, too.
Very simple,
I mean, you
very
literally,
small.
I've read the book, and it's such an easy breakdown and easy read, and it's very powerful. So if you are battling in your mind, and there's some things that you're just unsure about, and you need to have clarity of who you need to connect with, and you know what you need to see about yourself, the value of who you are, you've got to get this book. And Regina, I know, would love to be able to even talk with you about the book if you have any questions about it by connecting with her.
Absolutely.
Now, you have another project that you just completed, and it's pretty amazing, and it's very personal to your heart. Tell us about this book.
I'm so in love with this book. The second book is Lessons from My Grandmother's Lap, and it's me plus 12 other amazing women sharing the stories and wisdom that our grandmothers left with us.
Yeah.
And my grandmother passed, and in fact, tomorrow will be 2 years that she passed, and I knew immediately I wanted to do something in her honor, just to keep her, her memory alive and the things she taught me alive. And so even when I was sitting in her living room the day after her funeral, I announced to my cousins, I'm going to write a book about Grandma. And this book is, just the manifestation of that desire to do something for her. But it's even more special because the women that are with me had the opportunity to share their grandmothers as well. And the stories are beautiful and amazing, and have inspired a whole new group of people who want to write about their grandmothers. So we're actually doing a volume 2 so that more people can write about their grandmothers as well.
Awesome. Well, I definitely want to get plugged into that because my grandmother is still living, and we have 5 generations, and she has been a very instrumental part in who I am. And her name is Shirley Carlton, by the way.
Hey,
and
Shirley.
yes, everybody loves Grandma Shirley Carlton. And so one of the things she has taught me personally, as I was a young child is, always take your stumbling blocks and make them your stepping stones. And so I think that mindset of saying that has always helped push me to keep going, focusing forward, focusing forward instead of, because when we fall down, we're going to fall down, but we're going to get right back up. And if we fall, at least we're falling forward, we're failing forward. So she's always said, use those stumbling blocks, those things that try to tear you down and break you down, and make them stepping stones, grow from them, let them be positive experiences to help you be a better person, a better you. And so grandmothers are so special in our hearts, and especially when we've been close to them like you were to your grandmother.
Oh,
yeah.
Absolutely. I still remember the cooking biscuits with her in the kitchen, and you had to have your apron on, and and the shelling peas, especially this time of year. We've been shelling peas, putting up beans and stuff. Those types. I remember those. And I think it's important, especially for the young people that don't have that now, that we share those stories and experiences.
Exactly.
And pass them on.
Exactly. What an awesome legacy that is, Regina. Awesome. Yes. Well, Regina, I want you to tell me something. I know because of everything that you've done, all these accomplishments, being a corporate trainer, motivational speaker, now a global network. I mean, all these accomplishments that you've done. I know you moved from Greenwood to Atlanta, and then now here in Douglasville and everything. And so I know it hasn't always been easy. The transition of your life has not always been easy. I want you to share a little bit from your heart how things have been hard, even a tough moment maybe in your life, and how you push to overcome that to focus forward.
Is this what I do to other people? You know, Robin, the thing that has been the most challenging is having faith that when you don't have enough, that God is going to come through. There have been spaces in this journey where I couldn't see where things were going to come together, and you just had to believe that the vision that God gave you was real, and that He is who He says He is, and if He promised you something, He's going to fulfill that promise. So I guess the hardest part is not seeing it, if that makes sense. In other words, God giving you this big vision, this big dream, and then not seeing how it's going to come, not seeing where the money's going to come from, not seeing where the people are going to come from, and having to walk in faith in those spaces, even to quitting my job on June 30th. You know? I mean, it's one thing to say, okay, you know, I've got everything in place and I've got my full show roster set up, but I quit my job and I was the only show out here when I quit my job. And at that time, had no prospects for any other shows that were going to be here. But I had to believe that the days like we've had today would happen and the shows would be here. And I remember Lanita and I having that conversation and her asking me, is your faith in God so small that you can't believe Him for a full roster? And when she said that, it challenged me because I'm like, you know, I can believe Him for healing cancer. I can believe for all these things, but now I'm doubting Him for filling a roster of shows. And I was like, you're right. I said, let's go for it. And so when I'm telling you, I stepped out on total faith to do this on my own. Lanita was really probably the only person at that time who was backing me to make this happen.
That was my question. I was going to ask you, is the support system, as far as I know, you talk about Pam, your sister.
No, my family's got my back.
Yeah.
But they're in North Carolina.
Yeah, but the people in general, the people that follow you and watch you and stuff like that, but did you really have...
Most people are just watching.
Yeah.
They're still watching. Y'all keep watching.
Y'all still watching.
Y'all keep watching because we got some stuff for y'all. But a lot of people right now are just watching because this is so foreign and so new.
Exactly.
And what we're doing out here is so different from most stations because we're getting ready to have a line dance show.
Yes, I cannot wait. Yes.
We're getting ready to have a game show that I can't wait to tell you. That game show is off the chain.
Yes.
But those types of things that have now begun to manifest that weren't even anywhere, you know, on the scene whenever I quit my job. Do you get what I'm saying? And so I just had to believe that this was going to, the days like today were going to happen, or else I'd still been in my job. I probably wouldn't have moved forward. Does that make sense?
Yes,
and so we wouldn't be here right now. The dance class wouldn't be getting ready to happen.
The coaching classes
None
that you're
of this
offering.
Would be happening because I'd have been somewhere not believing God, not having faith.
Yes. So that's one thing that you have shown me just by your life. You know, we watch people by the life that they live and the example that they lead. And so one of the things that I watch from a distance from you is that you are a go-getter, but you're not a procrastinator. That's why I cling to you, because I'm a visionary and you're a visionary. I see things that other people don't see. And that's why I love speaking into people's lives, because I think it's a contagious thing. Yes. And you have been so contagious with me and in ways that you have no idea. I don't want to start crying on this show, but just to say that you've been through a lot with me, things you know about and things you don't know about, and it's amazing because you've had my back. You've prayed for me. You've sent me texts. You sent me encouraging words. And it's powerful when you got a sister that will stand by you. And the thing is, we are of different nationalities. You know, you're African American. I'm half Hawaiian, white. So it's crazy. But you know what? This shows you that we can work as a team and that we can work together. And I love her just like she's my flesh and blood. It's amazing. And so I am so thankful that you are taking the time to be on the show. And we've got more that we're going to talk about, because our next guest that we're fixing to pull in and have her come on, then we're going to all do some chatting time. But our next guest that's coming up, I want to tell you a little bit about her. Her name is Miss Clarissa Partlow. And if she'll just come on and join us right now. She actually is from my hometown in Greenville. And so she recently moved here, and she's going to tell us a little bit why she chose to move to Georgia from Greenville and leave me. So welcome to the show, Miss Clarissa. She actually is the author of Finding My 50 Plus. Now, that right there is a big statement in itself. It's because there's so many women and men that are over 50 and they don't know how to find themselves. They don't know what their purpose is. They think once you hit that 50 mark, life is over. Tell us a little bit about what does that title mean?
Finding my 50 plus life. Well, when I moved, I moved with thoughts of I'm gonna move. I'm gonna get me a job, and
Okay.
I'm going to have me a job and live in Atlanta.
Okay.
So I moved. Everything was in place. I had a place to live. I had a church to attend. I mean, you know, the usual.
Yeah.
Things. But to get the job wasn't really coming. So I
Now
started.
you knew somebody that lived here,
I
right?
knew my son, and then his
Kevon.
yes,
Yes. Yes.
and then you know his people he went to church with.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
of course I was
Pastor
gonna go
Mike's
there.
church. Let's
Pastor
put a plug
Mike's
out for there. What
Oh,
church
yeah.
is that called?
Excel Church.
Excel Church. Yes. Got to put a plug for those
Oh,
churches.
yeah, that's true.
Yes.
So you know, of course, I knew them. Well, from Greenville.
Yes.
But I came and I started looking for a job, and and I would go to these places, and they would ask me questions like, "What are you looking for?" And I was like, I say something, but then I start thinking, like, what are you looking for? Because I really started thinking, it's like, you really don't want to do,
Wow.
Because
Yeah.
the job I had,
Mhm.
I always say, I left on purpose. I left it on purpose.
Okay. Yeah. You. Yeah. I guess you did leave on purpose. You headed out of Dodge,
Right, because
didn't you?
I mean, everything was going,
Yeah. You were comfortable.
I was comfortable.
You were comfortable.
I was comfortable.
That was it. Yes.
And always, my usual thing, there's more to life than this. And, but it was just something inside of me that wanted to do something else, and I knew if I didn't, I just had to.
You were holding
I just
yourself
had to.
back.
Mhm.
Yes.
And
I know. I think sometimes that we go through that because it's like we want to move forward, but we just don't know how, and we get complacent and we get comfortable, and we don't know how to step out of that comfort or that box, you know? And so with you making that final decision to do it, what was the challenge like for you? What were some of those things that you were contemplating in your mind?
Well, first the job, because I had been there for a while, so you're giving up benefits, all the things that come with the job.
Yes.
Of course, it's a job. And I actually liked it. I liked what I was doing. My son, I have a son there in Greenville. Of course,
Christopher.
Christopher.
Yes, who is
Christopher
actually an awesome actor. I've seen him in plays.
He's going to be in Dreamgirls Center Stage.
Oh, Dreamgirls
So,
Center Stage,
yeah.
Greenville, South Carolina.
So, of course, I didn't want to leave him because it's like to leave to go live near another son. Yeah, it's like, oh, you leaving me to go to near him.
So those mama issues dropped in your spirit, and you're like, oh, because you felt imbalanced. You didn't know what to do.
Right.
Yes.
And then my dog.
You didn't bring your dog with you?
I didn't bring my dog.
Oh, I hope you gave him to a good home.
No, Chris has him.
Oh, Chris has him.
Yeah,
Okay,
I didn't
he's in
bring
good
mine.
hands.
Yeah.
He's in good hands.
So,
Yes.
but just those little things. And then I went on a trip with my job, and when I come back, I had comp time. I had 2 weeks off, and I came back and I was like, I got to do it. I mean, the thing is, you have to just do it.
Just
Just
do
do
it.
it.
Like Nike
'Cause there's
says, you
al-
just got to
yeah.
do it.
There's always a reason not to.
Yeah.
So you have to just do it. And I did my resignation letter, but I had to set dates for myself to get it done, because
So you were a single mom with one son in one state, another son in another state, but you felt that urge to transition because you're over 50 now. That's where the 50
oh yeah,
plus
I
came
forgot
from.
about that 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So I did that.
yeah,
At 50.
yeah. So with that transition, you're like, okay, how am I going to do this? But I know, life is just beginning at 50. I'm not 50 yet, just so you know, but I'm not too shy away from that age. I'm almost there. I got a few more years to go, but I'm almost there. But the thing is, what life, is an adventure. That's what I always say, is that, let's make the best of it while we're here. And so you making that step and that, that overcoming that challenge or that obstacle of the debate of what to do, what actually helped you make that decision? Did you have any kind of motivations or anything to start up the writing of this blog that you're doing?
Well, even before I moved, I wanted to write.
Okay.
I wanted to write for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
And
Did you ever write when you were young?
I always kept a journal.
Journal.
Yeah, you know,
Very important. Keep a
younger,
journal.
when we were younger, it was a diary.
Yeah.
You know, back in my day.
Diaries, yes.
But I was always writing something.
Yeah.
And of course, classes, you write.
Mm-hmm.
I love doing research papers. That's sad. So, but I wanted to take it to another level. I wanted to write a book. I want to write a book. I want to write a book. I would even write in my journal, I want to write a book. So when I moved, and I also had been through, let's see, I had been left. You know, I was married, but that didn't work. So, and I looked at it as God rescued me from something. And I started thinking He didn't bring me this far to bring me not to do what He had placed in my heart, which was right, because something that you can't let go of has to be a God thing.
That's right.
So
it's like your passion came alive. Once that storm came, that's what I always talk about, the storms. After the storms, there's rainbows. So after that storm had come in your life, it's like you knew that there was a rainbow at the other end of that storm. And so you pushed forward to move into that. So, you know, I commend you for that. That's pretty amazing, especially when you're going through a separation and all that. And because I'm actually going through that myself now. So I'm in that transition. So you actually can help me with that. So, and actually to our viewers, you can be beneficial to help those with some of the hardships with that going forth. But in your writing, so it's called what again? The 50 plus?
Finding my 50 plus.
Finding my 50 plus. So finding, I love that. You're finding. So that means you're out seeking. So that don't mean you've arrived. That don't mean that you've accomplished yourself. And so I love that. Now, is there anything, maybe groups or?
You know, over 50.
Yeah.
I read their blogs. But a lot of within me that I've started writing up there and running to allow, you know, so someone else can.
All bottled in, and we can't do that because there's so many people that need to hear our story because our story matters to not. I love it. I love it. Yes, yes.
So it has led to writing other than the blog. You know, of course, I'm one of the authors for Lessons from My Grandmother's Lap.
Yes,
Which
that's part of Regina's collaboration.
Right. Which was actually also one of those things in Finding Me. Because usually I would see something like that, and I would I'll be like, oh, I can't do that. And I'll just, you know, or I'll say, oh, I want to do that. I wish I can do that. And just, then it turns into, oh, man, I wish I had done that. So it came around at a time when it's like, just go for it.
I love it. Just go for it. Yeah.
And then after that, I usually like, why did you do that? But, you know.
Yeah. I'm sure that there were some challenges and stuff because we talked about that with your sons that you were debating on staying, going, and stuff like that. But let's move into you being in your 50s now. Okay, so what are some of the challenges that you as a woman, you know, and single without having a man here and everything, you know, around? What is some challenges that you may have at being 50 that can be an encouragement to somebody that one of our viewers could be listening in and, you know, that could help motivate them to say, hey, if she can overcome this fear of not being going forward and stuff, and she can overcome it to be brave, then I can do it. So give them something that they can feed off of that can be motivational.
I would say, like I say, at 50 is not over. My tagline is a reimagined life.
I love
so
that.
you can reimagine what you think your life is, what you thought it was going to be, because that's what I'm having to do. And I mean, at this point, I never would have imagined this, because, you know, usually I would not say anything. I might want to say it, but I don't.
You have come so far, and I will say this. I've known Clarissa, we didn't say this at the beginning, but we've known each other for years because our kids were friends together. But actually, I did a Bible study in my home. What happens when women say yes to God? And that was a God thing of a vision that I just saw myself. I was going through a transition where I didn't have any girlfriends, and I'm like, I need friends. What if I just have something in my home? Well, I ended up doing a Bible study in the morning and at night. And what happens when women say yes to God by Lisa Turkus. And Clarissa signed up for that. She saw it on Facebook and she came, and she ended up speaking at a place, and you just really come out of your shell in that because you were always so shy and quiet and stuff. So it's an awesome thing to be able to see you move forward, you know, and to see you focus on, you know, making some, writing, being a part of a book, writing a book, you know, and being on a show and doing your own blog. And actually, we're all connected because one of the topics that we did not bring up yet that we cannot forget to mention is the Bold Plus magazine. We all three are connected, okay? I'm one of the article writers, the column writers. I have 2 columns in there, Focus Forward Robin, and I also have Tasteful Tips and Trips in there about different places that I go visit to eat around. So if you have a restaurant and you want me to come visit your restaurant to write about it, contact me because we can get hooked up in that way. And then Clarissa writes her blog or her story in there, her article in there, her column, yes, finding my 50 plus. And Regina, let's tell us who you are. You are actually the editor-in-chief who got us all connected. Isn't this how awesome about connections and how, you know what, we talked about this earlier in our coaching class that, you know, we've got to make sure that we are connected to the right people. And if we want to grow in business and personal life, we got to make sure we know who our connections are, because if we're not growing, then we're not connected to the right people. No, right, Regina?
And you know, one of the things that I've always said, I've always told God, you know, you open doors for me, and I'm going to make sure that people that I know get to go through those doors with me.
Amen.
And so many people I don't think like that. You know, they think, okay, I got through the door, it's good, you know, I'm over here. But I'm always looking for opportunities to make sure people around me are you know, fulfilling their dreams and purpose and have an opportunity to shine as well. And I know that's one of the reasons that God continues to bless me, because I'm not selfish about opportunities.
By no means. And that's why I said you're contagious, because I'm just that same way. And Clarissa, she's the same way. This girl has been awesome today. She came to be on the show, but she's been here all day. She helped serve with me to get my table setting all set up.
She got Robin right today.
She did. She kept me in check today. So, you know what? That's what's amazing. When you are connected to the right people, they will pull things out of you, and then you pull things out of them, and then you help flow. You help each other. You get connected with one another, and you grow with one another, and you become friends. And, you know, you guys were connected before the show today. Tell us how you guys connected.
We actually know each other back from Greenwood, South Carolina, from Grace Community Church, from when our boys were little kids. So man, it's been at least 20 years.
Yes. And then I remember when I had my thrift shop, I had a community outreach thrift shop in Berea on Old Buncombe Road, and I remember that you came and did like a little book signing there. And you came because you were fixing to, were you fixing to move then? I'm not sure.
She came to talk to me about it.
I came to see Regina actually, and then I started talking to her about moving.
See, and right there, I bet I'm just being in the presence of Regina Sunshine. That's when you got your boldness. That's why she is part of Bold Faber magazine.
Well, you know, she was talking about, you know, the possibility and wanting to do something different. And I was like, well, why not? You know? And so, you know, a couple months later, it wasn't very long after that. You made that move. And I have to tell you, I know you said, you know, that you're not always the person in the past to move on things, but there are a lot of people that are afraid to make the kind of move that you made. A lot of people are comfortable in whatever town they're in, and they will not move. Yeah. And so what you have done, you've put a lot of people in the dust just for that one move.
Exactly. You were definitely making a statement. You made a statement with me, because I had somebody when I was getting ready to close my thrift shop, and it killed me. I did not want to close that thrift shop because it was my passion. I loved outreach, and I loved serving the community of my hometown, and I still do. I still do things in the community, and I still partner with other organizations. But one lady that came in, Miss Toya Moore, and she came in, she said, Robin, why are you trying to stay rooted in just one area? Because I sense that she said, I don't know you real well, but I sense that you're supposed to be a planter. You're supposed to go plant into other people's lives, and and you grow from that, and then you help other people grow. And I was like, because that was just confirmation that I knew that I was doing exactly what I was supposed to be doing, because I was really starting to be sad about doing that. But who knew what God had in store for Focus Forward with Robin to move forward and for me to get connected with you on this level of you. I didn't know that you were going to be starting the network because that didn't come out till this year, right?
Well, I actually signed the paperwork for the company back in 2017, but it wasn't anything I was openly promoting.
Yes.
And I didn't know at the beginning of the year that I would be out here. But when your coach calls you and says you got 45 days to move and start your own network, you start making plans real fast.
But last year when I came to your store to see Regina, y'all talked about a TV show, a radio.
Because we were talking about doing it in my store. Yes, because with a
Right.
little set just like this,
Just
a little
like
setup.
this. Look
And
at
you're
this.
like, and you say, Robin, because you had mentioned that before as well. And then I'm like, I knew when she was going to come to Greenville, she was going to bring something up. And lo and behold, she did. So that's what a great mentor does. She's a friend, she's a mentor, she's a coach, she's a confidant in
The
so
way
many
you say
ways.
that, I knew she was going to bring something else.
I know.
I know you don't bring it up to her because if you bring it up to her,
then she's
you
going to
have
escalate
act
it
on
to something.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
she's not going to you don't just activate that thing. You have to activate like 4 or 5 things. And it's like grows, you know. She's like, well, do you think about this? You think about that? And we're like, okay. I mean, just in our coaching session, we were talking about different things, expanding and stuff. So, it's just been an amazing time that we've had today on the show. And, what is something that you guys could share each about this connections and how important it is for not just women to get together and connect, but it doesn't matter with networking. I will say I have had so many opportunities of just recognizing people and the value of their life and business with the connections that I connect with. What's something that you would say, being in this field for many years, what would you say would be beneficial to actually Clarissa and I, Regina, to how we can move forward to get connected, and what are some things that we can do?
Well, as I said in our coaching class earlier, it's so important the people that you're connected to. And just because a person doesn't have the right connections now doesn't mean you can't take the steps to have those right connections. So begin seeking out people that are in positions or places or doing things that you want to do, and they're doing them well, they're excelling. And get around them and asking questions. Make yourself their friend.
That's right.
So that you
That's
can
right.
begin to get the information that you need. So if you're looking around and you don't have the circle that you want, you don't have the connection that you want, go get your circle.
Yes, and you know
Create
what?
your own circle.
I attend a lot of different networking events, and I don't just do them in Greenville. I'll go to Simpsonville, Fountain Inn. I'll go wherever I know that there's somebody that's holding something that I think it's going to be beneficial to me and beneficial to them. And I met so many connections through that, and also through social media.
Yes.
A lot of people dog social media. They say, oh, it's so negative and all this. It's how you use it.
It's how you
You
use
know,
it, yes.
we are moving so fast with the times. You were saying that earlier in our session, and that we're going so fast with what's happening that we've got to catch on. We've got to latch on. If we're going to grow or go anywhere, we've got to make sure we get connected with social media. So, I would speak of how to get connected on their different groups and things like you were talking about for your blogging, the groups that you get connected on. Go to these motivational pages, Focus Forward Robin, all these different things, get connected and stuff because, we're only holding ourselves back. We're never going to grow if we don't stay affiliated with people. And the thing is, they don't even have to be people one-on-one live. Like I gave my props out earlier to like Brendan Butchard and Trent Shelton. I don't know them. I would love to know you. I would love to connect with you. But I'm just saying I don't know them, but they have been, and Les Brown, I have been so empowered by their speeches and the things that, that they've shared and their videos and stuff, and these pastors and stuff that I listen to on TV or I go to the church and stuff. It's like it's so important to just let, if you're willing to grow, you know what? You're going to sow. You're going to sow your time. You're going to sow your travel. You're going to make an effort to advance, And it's okay if you're a person that just wants to be complacent and you want to stay in the box and be, fine. That's okay if you're like that. But for those of you that are listening and you're in the viewer segment of the show and you really want to grow and you want to be empowered to be motivated to focus forward and to get going, and make something of yourself, to believe in yourself, to live these dreams and to have visions, it's so important to get connected with people like these ladies because there's so much power in numbers, and there's so many men that have really been influential in my life as well. So today I'm thankful for Regina and Clarissa being on the show today. And you know what? I want to close with a leadership quote by one of my favorite authors and motivational speakers who I actually follow a lot, which is John Maxwell. And he says, "Success is knowing your purpose in life, growing to reach your maximal potential, and sowing seeds that benefit others. I firmly believe in impacting one generation to another by positive seeds we sow today, not tomorrow, but today." So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in with Focus Forward with Robin Show. And if you would like to know more how you can connect with me or become a sponsor on my show, please reach out to me on Focus Forward Robin page, Robin Shockley, or my website, focusforwardrobin.com. All right? Everybody have a blessed afternoon. And until next time, we are here from 5 to 6 every second Monday of the month. So I will see you next month, September. I believe it's September the 10th. All right? From 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Have a blessed day, everyone.